This is our Aquasana Whole House Water filter system. This is now 4 days short of 1 year of use. So I'm getting ready to change the UV light out. And this is one thing I don't like about this system. So this counts down the days remaining. You could press and hold to reset, but it's going to reset to, I believe it was 375 that it started with, or 365. But this alarm that you're going to hear in a second has been going off for the last 6 days. And so that means it's been going off for 10 days. You could just reset it and not change the bulb out, but then you may forget to change the bulb out. And I'm not 100% sold on the fact that you actually do need to change out the UV light when this counts down, unless mysteriously or miraculously this bulb is going to burn out in 4 days. The only way that you can actually tell that this light is still working is to look down in here and you can see blue light. So if you reset it completely, you would basically have to come down here every day or every other day to see whether the light's still on, and then change the light bulb out once you no longer see the light. The light is still on, but I'm gonna change it out. The alert to change the UV light wouldn't be so bad, except for the fact that, like I said, it's now going on 6 days of constantly chirping, and it's a double chirp. And even though it is tucked under our stairs in the basement, you can hear it 2 floors up. If there's background noise, it's not too bad, but if you're in one of the 2 bedrooms downstairs in the basement, you can hear it. You can hear it up in the other rooms upstairs as well. The first thing you need to do is make sure your box is unplugged. In my case, the actual plug is on the other side of this wall, so I have to unplug it here. So now there's no power. And then the next thing I gotta do is turn the water off. And in my case, I have a bypass on here, so I can turn this off, and then just out of habit, I also turn the main water supply off as well. I just turned the main water supply off right here, and then what I did is turn the main line off, and then the back one I turned the bypass on, so now the water will bypass and go through this way rather than coming through all of the filters and the UV light. Next step is to remove the ground screw, and you have to remove it because you're not going to get enough room to work. Now what you have to do is push in the lamp connector and turn it a quarter turn counterclockwise. And then here's why you have to take the grounding strap off, because you would not be able to lift this out. And as a caution, don't touch the glass. Make sure you only touch this upper portion. Now what you gotta do, you can actually see it's a little burnt there, and there's some burning, arcing there as well. So now you gotta disconnect the lamp from the lamp connector there. You could just change out the bulb, but what you're supposed to do, it's a good thing. Put this container down here because there is water coming out, even though I turned everything off. So there's the gland nut, and then you need to remove the Yeah, so that's all got to be cleaned. And that's on the quartz sleeve. So need to use some lime away or CLR to clean that off. Also, before you put this back in, you got to get rid of all the moisture in there. Just finished cleaning the quartz sleeve. The other thing is make sure you put it somewhere where it's not gonna get broke, because if you do break this, you're gonna have to wait for a new one to come, which means you'll have to have your system in bypass until you do get one. This is the box that the new light came in, and here's the part number right here. This is how it came wrapped up inside the box. Here's the new lamp, and I didn't know, but it did come with a new O-ring as well. And then you definitely want to keep your fingers oil off the bulb itself. Make sure you only handle it from the ends. After cleaning the quartz sleeve and putting the new O-ring on, I'm now going to put it in the reactor. There's still water in there, but I am attempting to not get into the quartz sleeve again. Alright, so the quartz sleeve, the new O-ring are now both back inside the reactor. There's no mention of the spring in the instructions, but since you had to remove it, you also want to make sure that you put it back. So that will go inside the quartz sleeve. The next step would be to put your bulb in, and you want to make sure that you only touch these portions. You don't want to get any oil on the glass. So that will go in. Alright, put the connector back on. When you put this connector back on, you're definitely going to fill where it needs to stop, because it just stops and you can't tighten it anymore. The next step is to put the UV lamp connector on, and you want to make sure you connect this properly. Not only are there these connector pins, but there's also these slots in there that should match up with the slots on here. So you can see some little tabs right here, and then there's little inserts right there as well. So you want to line those up. And you want to make sure, definitely seat it properly. Push your connector in, and then turn it clockwise until it locks in place. Then connect your grounding wire. So everything's done, everything's locked in, connected, grounding wire's done. Now I just need to plug it back in and reset it. And then to reset the box, you have to press and hold this button. You have to press and hold this button for 10 seconds to get it to reset. So now I'm going to hold it for 10 seconds to reset it. Alright, so it was actually 10 seconds. Actually, it was 10, 11 seconds. And then it said RST1, RST2, RST3, and then went to 375. So now we're back at 375, year and 10 days before I need to replace it again. And now the last thing to do is take the system out of bypass and turn the water back on. Alright, so the water main's on, taken out of bypass. And no leaks. And yeah, so you can see the light is on in there. You can see the blue light, so the UV light is working.